in grade 6 to 12 school, and I have been here since September 1st. I bring 22 years of experience in instructional and educational leadership. As the executive director, I report to the board of directors, which consists of 13 volunteers who are all appointed by the Miami Shores Village Council, Barry University, the North Dade Medical Foundation, and the DCS Parent Teacher Student Association. I am proud to introduce to you now my amazing team of dedicated educators. Gang, as I call your names, maybe if you could just say hello. Leading our middle school is Mr. Doug Garber, our principal.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming.
Dr. Ed Jackson is our principal, our educational leader at the high school.
Good evening, new friends and future students.
Miss Yesenia Santiago is our Director of Student Services.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Dr. Kate Grisham is our Director of Guidance.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight.
Mr. Philip Washington is our Athletic Director and also a dual enrollment teacher. Mrs. Elaine Asbury oversees the admission process here at DCS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, and I'm sure I'll be speaking to you soon.
Thank you, Ms. Asbury. Tonight, you will have an opportunity to hear from each of us and to ask questions through our chat feature on Zoom. Due to the pandemic, we have instituted in-person instruction on our campus as of October 5th and have approximately 35% of our students on campus, with the remaining 65% working remotely. Our teachers live stream their instruction with our remote and in-person students, and each student is given a computer to be able to access their classroom teachers. Miss Santiago, oh, good, you're showing the mission statement. The mission statement of our school is empowering students to reach academic excellence and to embrace community service as global citizens. If you could just advance the next slide, please. Here you'll notice that our students, our high school students, participate in international travel every year prior to the pandemic. On average, we would have anywhere from 50 to 60 students traveling overseas to really expand their global perspective and really live out the school's mission of being global citizens. If you could show our vision, thank you. Our vision statement is inspiring students towards discovery, citizenship, and scholarship. Our primary focus is focusing on academics. We are a college preparatory school, and many of our students are challenged on a daily basis with the academic rigor that our teachers uphold in their classrooms. So that is the primary focus here at DCS. But nonetheless, we also like to offer other opportunities for our students. Our students also have the opportunity to participate in art, as well as the fine arts. Here you'll see some of the beautiful artwork that our students have created. And also we have an amazing fine arts program. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we have limited the opportunities that our students have this year in playing their musical instruments, singing. Many of our students, I'm sure you'll hear tonight, participated on different events throughout the year at different locations throughout our community. This is our school's 16th year, and we and the Village of Miami Shores holds the actual charter of our school along with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. We are accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Council on accreditation, SACS, and through Cognia. Right now, I'd like to share a very short video. It is a 4-minute video that highlights the accomplishments in our first 15 years. As I mentioned earlier, this is our 16th year. Ms. Santiago, if you could take it away, please.
Do you all see the link to the video? Or do
Yes.
you still see the presentation? Yep. Okay.
Yep. And if you can make it bigger.
To be a welcoming place. From the moment that you walk in the morning, you need to know that the people that are there are glad to see you.
We are a small community of just about 580 students, grades 6 through 12. And the best part about that is they are still a community of learners all together. So there's always that idea, not just among the staff, but also among the students, that excellence is what we're trying to achieve. And everyone works really hard to find that at our school.
It's a community of respect and love. So you have a bond with everybody. You know everybody. It's a safe space.
I have a passion for the school, and I think that I'm a cheerleader for the school because I know what we have on the inside. So it's not just teaching history, but teaching them everything about life, about their surroundings, about their community, and how they can learn from almost every single experience.
The teachers here care about the student, meaning that it goes beyond the academic work. It's more so, how can I help this student succeed not only in the classroom, but in life?
Last year I saw Mr. Mataska in our science department doing a predator-prey game outside, and you could just see the sheer joy on these kids' faces rather than sitting down, doing some measurements or something, bringing that kind of energy. I think there's a carryover. And so whether the next day, whether they're doing a lab that's a little more static, they still have that energy from the day before where they interacted in that format.
They challenge the students without stressing the whole family, and that's important to me. Our kids are different, yet this school helps them thrive.
I would say that DCS is an exceptional school born out of the collaboration, determination of people with imagination and the faith that they can change the outcome of education for their children.
So when we talk to our teachers, our students, our families, our community members, the one word that was used the most often to describe Doctors Charter School was family. And that's a very unique word to use for a small school in an urban setting.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago. I turn it over now to our middle school principal, Mr. Doug Garber.
Thank you, Dr. Acevedo. To everyone out there with us this evening, I just want to say once again, good evening. Thank you for being here, and thank you for considering Doctors Charter School. I'd like to start off with just a little bit of history of the school. We had our beginnings actually in another school that was begun way back in 1997. In 1997, the Village of Miami Shores partnered with Barry University to create the Miami Shores Barry University Connected Learning Center. This was a 6 through 8 school. It was the first school of its kind in the state of Florida in that it was a charter school whose charter was held by a university. That school was a smashing success and broke all kinds of records in many different ways. So much so that the parents in that school began asking, why not a high school? And so in 2004, another charter was granted for Doctors Charter School, which was to be a school which would go from grades 6 to grades 12. In 2005, we opened our doors with just a few classes that year, and then we added a class every year until we got to be who we are today, Doctors Charter School of Miami Shores, grades 6 through 12. We are a unique place. Our past executive director, Dr. Andrews, hit the nail on the head when she said the word that describes Doctors Charter School is family. We are small, we are intimate, we are connected, and we care about one another. I was asked also to talk about two important documents, parents, that you will need to know about. I'm not going to detail everything that is in those documents, but rather just want to highlight why you should take the time to read them if you are considering Doctors Charter School for your son or for your daughter. The first is the Parent-Student Handbook. This is the document that really tells you everything you need to know about how we operate. It'll tell you all about our attendance policies, our grading policies, our credit requirements, and again, all of our operational procedures. You know, all charter schools are different. Indeed, difference is at the very heart of what makes a charter school and why charter schools were begun. So you have a choice. And as you look around from one school to another, you need to have a good concept of what the school is all about and how it operates. All of them are not for you. Hopefully, you will find the one that is. And we hope it'll be us. So if you are seriously considering us, please read the document, the Parent-Student Handbook. Go over it all with your son or daughter and make sure before you make that commitment that this is the family that you'd like to join. The other important document is the Code of Conduct. We have many remedies for dealing with student behavioral issues. First and foremost is conversation. It also involves other elements, however. Sometimes it's conversation just with teachers, sometimes it's teacher administration, sometimes it's teacher administration, parent, student, but that is always our first resort. Other elements of our code of conduct that you will need to know about are detailed in the code of conduct. Yes, we do, for more severe disciplinary infractions, have after-school detentions, and if something is super serious, just like all schools, we have suspension as a remedy. But you should go through this code of conduct and see that you are comfortable with everything that is in there. I will say this about these two documents. We ask that all parents who bring their son or their daughter to our care, that they have read these documents and that they have signed off indicating that they have done so. When we receive these parent sign-offs, we take them at face value. We trust that you have actually done this. So once a student is enrolled with us and they're going to classes on a regular basis, we trust that student and parent are well apprised of all rules and regulations and opportunities at Doctors Charter School. So I think that's it for me. Thank you all very much.
And, all right, everyone. Good evening again. And my name is Dr. Jackson, the high school principal. And I just want to reiterate a few things that have already been said. As Dr. Azevedo mentioned, we have a college preparatory focus. Whether our teachers are teaching advanced placement, honors, electives, any classes, their focus is on rigor. And that is one of the challenges that all students have to attend to when they attend Doctors Charter School, that it is a rigorous academic environment. But it is also an environment where students have a lot of opportunities to have some fun and growth outside of that learning. And I think one of the best ways to talk about that is to share a little story with you about a group of seniors I met my first year. They arrived at school a few weeks before school started to meet with the college guidance counselor to begin the process of preparing their college documents, their scholarship letters, and all of that kind of stuff, a few weeks ahead of the school starting itself. And I asked those young folks what they had hoped their senior year would entail. And they all hoped that they were going to have fun, which is really interesting when you consider the challenges they had in front of them of completing their senior year and getting into college. But they all wanted to have fun. And as the year went on, I found out that the traditions and activities that Doctors Charter School has established is really what gives students that focus on having fun outside of the classroom. It begins early in the year with events like our Hispanic Heritage Assembly, International Fair, Black History Month celebration, our talent showcase, our standing room only music concerts, pep rallies, attending homecoming games and senior night games where much of the student population shows up and demonstrates great spirits. Traditions like senior serenades that they do at Christmas time and very similar activity at Valentine's Day. And the Pi Day event that's sponsored by our math department, but really led by our students. Our annual 5K run, field trips and opportunities for meaningful community service and after school clubs that really kind of round that experience out. The opportunities to do those really fun things that come around only once in a while, once in a great time, and the homecoming dance, the prom, our senior brunch, those events. And as I think back on what I experienced in just watching those students throughout the year and reflecting on what they told me about having fun, I did see a lot of smiles and a lot of laughter from all of those young people. You see, the teachers had high expectations for them, but the students also had high expectations that they were going to be involved in events that were going to allow them to show their talents, their individuality, and allow them to grow their leadership. And they did all of those things. And at the end of the year, many of them went with that work that they put in paid off. Many of them left us on full ride scholarships to some of the best universities in the country. Probably enough from me about the high school. I'd like you to hear from our student government president, Ms. April Parker. Ms. Santiago, could you hear that? I'm not hearing audio on my end.
No, I'm not hearing any audio either. There we go.
There we go.
I was muted.
I am April Parker. I am currently a senior and have been attending Doctors Charter for approximately 7 years. As the Student Government Association president, I invite you to hear information about the clubs DCS has to offer. For middle school students via Zoom, Math Counts and Haas Junior Yearbook Club are available. For high school students, DCS offers the Black Student Union, Brother to Brother, Key Club, and Sister to Sister. Available to all students are the Book Club and the Gay Straight Alliance. If there is a club that is not yet established, we invite the students to bring their ideas to the Student Government Association. The Student Government Association is an association that represents the voices of the student community at DCS. 2 students from each grade, called class officers, represent their class in bi-weekly discussions about the school as a whole. Working with the administration, the student government officers often discuss matters like school spirit, as well as planning events and fundraisers for the entire community to participate. All students are invited to make an immediate impact on their communities by participating in our meetings, which occur every 2 weeks on Thursdays. I enjoy coming up with creative ideas to increase the student participation and involvement in the DCS community, like our pep rallies and our ice cream socials. I would like to tell future students that students that attend DCS are able to feel comfortable and speak to each other with a sense of belonging. Being a part of such a community that is full of joy and happiness is something I have become proud of. The social skills I have learned from being a DCS Hawk have impacted me greatly and will continue to help me throughout my entire life.
And that's it. Thank you.
Well, hi, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Ms. Santiago, the Director of Student Services. And just a few things that are part of our department upstairs here in Student Services is that we provide counseling services for all students, whether it's academic advising or any mental health counseling that they might need. We do have a full-time mental health counselor, Ms. Valladares, and she's available to assist students whenever they feel that they might need that extra support. We offer a gifted program in the middle school. The gifted program consists of an elective, 2 electives or 3 electives if we have 7 or 6 classes, a language arts gifted class, a science gifted class, and a social studies gifted class. The math is based on their progress on any testing that they might have had over the summer or testing that they might have taken in 6th grade. In 5th grade, sorry. I am also the person in charge of any students with special needs. So if your child has an IEP or a 504, I would be that main point of contact, and any students that have ESOL services. I am also the point of contact for testing. So we do follow the state required testing. So we do the FSAs and the FCAT for science. We also follow any district testing protocols. So we do the MYAs and any beginning of the year assessments that the district requires. We also use iReady for any students in intensive classes. And we currently use the NWEA for all middle school testing. Finally, we do have community service requirements for our students in middle school. We like the students to get involved in the community service aspects of things early on. So we would like the students to have 15 hours of community service each year. And that way it gets them used to the high school graduation requirement that we have. And so now I turn the stage to Dr. Grisham.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago. Hopefully everybody can hear me. My name is Catherine Grisham, and I'm the Director of Guidance here at Doctors Charter School. So let me tell you one thing. So choosing DCS is choosing the best, well-rounded and disciplined public education for your student that will provide for their successful future. I want to talk about high school curriculum first. We offer a rigorous high school curriculum that is focused on core academic instruction and college preparatory electives, which allows Doctors Charter School students to complete the majority of their high school graduation requirements in the 11th grade. Students graduating from Doctors Charter School are required to complete 4 English language arts credits, 4 math credits, 4 science credits, 2 foreign language credits, 2 art credits, and 7 electives, and also 100 community service hours, which allows students to stand out on college applications, and simply means to colleges that their curriculum was much more rigorous if they compare to regular public school students. Studies have shown that the rigor of a student's high school curriculum is the single best predictor of the success in college. The National Association for College Admission Counseling Annual State of College Admission Survey consistently proves that student performance in college preparatory classes is the most important factor in the admission decision. Most United States colleges have an AP, advanced placement, and dual enrollment credit policy that allows students who have taken AP exams and dual enrollment courses to earn college credit. With this in mind, Doctors Charter School encourages enrollment in honors, advanced placement, and dual enrollment courses, and guides students towards these classes since middle school. DCS is very proud of our dual enrollment program with Miami-Dade College and Barry University. Dual enrollment program enables students to earn high school credit and university credits simultaneously. Eligible students can enroll in Miami-Dade College dual enrollment courses every semester, including summer. Barry University dual enrollment courses are included in the Doctor's Charter School curriculum and thus can be taken during the school day. The examples of the courses offered through Barry University dual enrollment program are the following: General Education Mathematics, Pre-Calculus, Calculus, United States History, Modern Russia, Recreation and Sport Management, Graphic Design, and Digital Literacy. Select juniors and seniors are taking classes either on the DCS campus or on Barry University campus. And these students are considered Barry University students. They have an ID and they receive access to such benefits as the use of the Barry University facilities and resources, including professional tutoring services at Barry University free of charge. Doctor's Charter School implements a college counseling program through My Career Shines, a customized and comprehensive K-20 education and career planning system that is designed to assess each student's interests, abilities, needs, and career goals, and navigate them through college admission process. We organize college fairs, university tours, schedule individual college visits for our students. We have a 100% graduation rate, and 99% of our students go to college, and those who do not choose, they either join the Army or the Navy. Ms. Santiago, can you advance to the next slide, please? Thank you. Besides being accepted to all major Florida colleges and universities, our graduates have earned acceptance into the following schools, and you can see them all on the slide. Of the last year graduates, 100% of students graduated with a post-secondary plan. Multiple students gained entry to highly competitive in-state and out-of-state institutions. Every year, multiple seniors qualified for Florida Bright Futures Scholarship, which covers 75 to 100% of their tuition, and full ride scholarships for high-achieving first-generation and low-income students. And DCS provides support with regards to financial aid applications. In 2019, Doctor's Charter School had 2 students earn the prestigious Quest Bridge Scholarship that allowed them to study at Duke and Rice, and we are going to have 1 finalist this year, which we are really proud of. And I want to show you a couple of slides with pictures from our college-related events. So this one shows you students on Barry University campus. This is our dual enrollment group. Can you go to the next slide, please, Ms. Santiago? These are the pictures from the college tour in 2019. Unfortunately, we didn't have it last year. You know, the reason was obvious, right? But we're planning to resume as soon as the things are back to normal. And then the next slide, please. And here are some pictures from the college fair, and we hold them every year. This year we had virtual college fairs, and we have every week we have 3 to 4 college visits, virtual college visits for our students. And that's it for me. And here is to Mr. Philip Washington, the athletic director.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grisham. Welcome, parents and future Hawks. As stated before, I'm Mr. Philip Washington, the athletic director and a dual enrollment instructor. Just to give you a little, just not even a little background history of sport, but, sport is sport. We offer a multitude of different sports from the middle school ramification to the high school realm. Being that we are an academic rigorous school, of course, I put the student before the athletic aspect. So students must require to have a 2.0 GPA by the state. However, Mr. Washington is pushing that the students have a 2.5 or higher GPA because we want them to be more competitive within the academic piece in regards if they want to go off to college on pretty much an athletic scholarship. We have sports ranging from volleyball, cross country, swimming, basketball, girls weightlifting, baseball, basketball, and tennis. Of course, if there's any sport that we do not provide here at the school, we are allowing students to go to their home school to compete in those sports in which they would like to take part in. However, there is documentation and paperwork that we have to fill out on both campuses to assure that we have meet the minimum requirement for the state in itself. Of course, attendance plays a major role and a factor in athletics as well, and we require an 85% attendance rate for the previous school year if we're starting the school in the fall semester or within the spring semester. And that is all for me. If you go to the next slide, you'll see a couple of pictures that we have outlined, starting from, you'll see girls weightlifting at the top left there. At the bottom, that is actually boys varsity basketball. When they start the fourth quarter, they always do 20 push-ups. And then we have our girls volleyball team at the top left. Thank you. And I'm now push it over to Mrs. Asbury.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. That was quick. All right, guys, I'm just going to go. My name is Elaine Asbury. I am the Director of Admissions here at the school. And just very quickly, due to the pandemic, we are doing our application process through outside. So if you would like to come by and pick up an application, please do so. They are located right outside before you would enter the building. So we ask that you just please take one. If you need to or whatever, please take those. Fill them out. When you've got them filled out, you can return them. I'll just come up to the door, press the button, and someone will come out and sign your paperwork. We do not allow other parents or anyone into the school, so we will come out there to sign those. Applications are due by February the 1st at 3 o'clock at the school. We are a lottery system school. So what we do is after February the 1st, I enter everything into the computer. An independent person comes in, presses a button, and the lottery is done. On March the 18th, we will hold the lottery. You will start getting notification that week. If your child has been accepted, we will call you. I highly suggest that if you can put in the Doctor's Charter School telephone number into your phone so that when you see that pop up, you need to either answer it or call us back because we're calling you on something important. Because we only give a window of time for you to call us back after I leave you a note. For those that will be on the waiting list, we will then send you a letter stating that you're on the waiting list. We do ask that you, if you want to be removed off that waiting list, that you call me and let me know that you want to be removed. Otherwise, we will keep you on. Please remember that we only call 88 sixth graders, and we will call everyone else as students leave the grade level. Miami Shores residents does get first preference into the school. Meaning that if we have space in the grade level that the child needs to go into, then we will call you. To be considered a Miami Shores resident, you must have a Florida Power and Light bill and the name of the guardian of the child, and that must come back with the application, and we will check with Dade County Properties to make sure that that is a Miami Shores resident address. And I think that's about it. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Asbury, and thank you to our wonderful team for coming out this evening and for really sharing the passion and the love that we all have for this very special place, DCS. It's a great day to be a Hawk. Here you'll notice some pictures of our students. Pre-pandemic, obviously, the goal is to one day get back to where we were and having many of these activities. Thank you to all of our prospective parents and students for being here this evening. And at this time, we will certainly entertain questions in the chat. So if you have any questions for us, please indicate those questions in the chat. I think we see one here regarding middle school activities, extracurricular activities. Mr. Garber, Ms. Santiago, would you be able to take that question?
You're muted.
You'd like me better that way, I know. In normal times, for our middle school students, they would have a number of sixth grade socials, they would have a number of socials, generally in the form of dances. We like to start our year in normal times with a sixth grade social so that all of the sixth graders can kind of get to know each other. The distribution of the lockers to sixth graders is always a big, big deal at the beginning of the year. And I love the way it rolls out because we have upperclassmen volunteering to show the sixth graders how to open their lockers. And it's just a great opportunity for the sixth graders to get to know somebody who's got some age and experience in the school and who will be seeing them in the hallway and saying hello and kind of looking out for them. So that's something that we would normally do at the beginning of the year. That's just a part of operational procedure that turns out to be pretty important. We have field trips for our middle school classes for our middle school students through their classes. There are some sports that middle school students are eligible for. And at the end of the year, we wrap it all up with a great big old middle school field trip to Islands of Adventure. So there are a number of things for our middle school students, all of those not to mention the various clubs and organizations that middle schoolers are free to join as well. Most of our clubs and organizations are open to middle schoolers. Every year, we have groups of middle schoolers approach us and ask to start some specific kind of club, and we always manage to find a sponsor for that because that kind of activity in the school is very important. Santiago, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, that was perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. There's a question regarding our total enrollment and the per pupil size for each class. We currently have 583 students. Ms. Santiago, Dr. Grisham, perhaps you can talk a little bit about class sizes and how that's different at the middle school and high school.
Sure. So currently, and on average, a middle school class would be 22 students. And a high school class would be about 24, 25 students. Because of the pandemic, we are trying to make sure that we don't have more than 8 to 10 students in the classroom right now, face-to-face with the teacher, and the rest are online. So we have our average class sizes as it would be recommended by the district. Dr. Grisham, would you like to add?
I can just add real quick about dual enrollment classes. So those classes are normally much smaller because for the students to be scheduled for that class, they have to be eligible, which means they have to have at least a 3.0 unweighted GPA. They have to be a junior or a senior or, you know, a recommended sophomore. And I'm talking about Barry University dual enrollment classes, which we have on our campus. Those classes are anywhere from 10 students to 21. So for example, right now in the math class, we have 21 dual enrollment students. Mr. Washington is teaching sport and recreation management, and he has 11. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Washington. So
I have 10, but you're very close.
10, 11 with you, right? I remember
Yes.
because I ordered.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't see any other questions in the chat. Parents, do you have anything else you'd like for us to go over with you?
Just type it in the chat.
That's it.
Electives. So right now for electives in the middle school, we have creative writing. We also have intensive reading for those students that need it. We have art, we have PE, we have music, so they might be an orchestra or music appreciation. Most of our electives are academic electives, so they'll have things that have to do with a core course. Mr. Washington, is there anything that I might have missed?
No, you
No,
pretty much,
okay.
yeah, you hit
Okay.
it on the head.
There's a question there, Mr. Washington, regarding athletics. Perhaps
Uh,
you can take that.
I'm sorry, can someone read it? I can't see it, I'm
It says
sorry.
for athletics, is there tennis and volleyball at the middle school level or just high school?
Yes, so what we typically happen is if we have a student that's actually advanced, we do advance them to our high school and they take part in the high school sport. However, we do have a middle school volleyball team that competes in the spring. Currently right now, our middle schoolers are not taking part in any sport because of the pandemic currently right now, but as we move back to normalcy as possible, then of course we will open back up those avenues for those students. And yes, we do have, we don't have a middle school tennis team. We have a high school team, but we do have middle schoolers that take that plays on the actual high school team.
Thank you, Mr. Washington.
You're welcome.
I think
Yes,
there
go
was
ahead.
also an question about drama. Currently, we do not have a drama elective, but we do have the art program and the music program do work well together, and they do certain things together towards the ending of the year.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago.
Foreign languages. So we currently have beginner Spanish in the middle school level, and then we offer Spanish 1 and 2 in the high school level. If there's students that qualify for Spanish 3 or above, then we would offer those if there's enough students to offer that. Mr. Washington, a middle school basketball team?
Yes, so we do have a middle school basketball team that happens in the spring as well. So it's the same with the whole volleyball scenario. We do have some advanced basketball students that, you know, we had in the past a 7th and 8th grader that took part actually in the JV, the junior varsity squad, because of their level of skill. However, I do, you know, the rule is that if you go up and you play in the high school level, you cannot come back and play in the middle school level because that's not fair to those individuals who did not have an opportunity to play. So that is something that, you know, I'm definitely implementing this year, being that this is my first year within the actual program itself, to move forward beyond that.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. There was a question about robotics. So we do have a STEM environmental science elective in the middle school. And that is managed by one of the math teachers, and they do discuss a lot of robotics, but we usually offer a robotics course in the high school when students elect to select that class.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Yes, because, and then we have the computer science class that Mr. Schofield teach, that he does incorporate pretty much the robotics.
That's right.
The curriculum, and the students do get that as well. So that is something big in the middle school area that the students love, and he does an amazing job with that.
And we
in the
also have
past,
library skills as well.
I believe
Yes.
we've had a robotics club
Yes.
headed by Mr. Schofield. So it depends on student interest.
Mm-hmm. There was a question about academic performance and how parents are informed. So parents do have the option of registering for the parent portal. They would just need a PIN from our registrar. You could check your students' progress weekly, like I do. And you will get notification twice a quarter. So you would get a progress report in the middle of the quarter, and then you would get your report card. The teachers also like to send progress monitoring notes to parents via email. So that would be an important aspect to communicate with the teacher, that you would like progress monitoring with the students. We also have academic warning and probation communication with parents. In both the middle school and the high school, where if the child falls under the 2.0, we do communicate with the parent probably every 2 to 3 weeks to check on their students' progress. And then we have meetings and send out contracts and things like that.
Yeah, I can just add to that real quick. We've just finished the first quarter, and what we've done, so we send a letter by mail to those parents whose students were placed on the academic warning, and these are the ones whose GPA dropped below 2.0. We pull a report at the end of each quarter to kind of like monitor consistently the progress of a specific student, all students on the high school and middle school level, right? So we send you a letter by mail. We also send you an email And then at this time, we were scheduling Zoom meetings. Normally they're face-to-face, depending on the situation. If it's an academic warning, right? If it's the first time your child received it, then your child would just meet with me, the high school counselor, right? So we would go over the requirements. We will create a plan together. We will communicate with the teachers just to make sure that the child improves. If the child is placed on the academic probation, this is when we will have a parent conference. But again, due to the pandemic, right now we're having a student and a parent conference at the same time, even if a student received an academic warning, just to address these issues right away and make sure your child is successful. So there is a lot of communication happening. And the good thing about us that we're a small school, right? So it's super easy to reach any of us. Just send an email, we will call you back. Call us and then we will respond immediately and we will have a Zoom meeting. That's true and everybody can confirm that.
Sure.
There's a question about tennis for this school year, Mr. Washington.
Okay, so currently right now, last year we had a developmental tennis team because of the level of extent of skill. So we wanted to pretty much roll out and teach more so we can develop those players into skilled players and then we can actually be competitive on that level. Right now, that is something on the list. However, with the numbers going up and with COVID situation, I don't know what the future may look like right now as far as the spring goes with athletics, but Dr. Acevedo, Dr. Jackson, and the board and I, we're definitely working close together to see how we're going to operate and what are we going to provide or offer to the students for the duration of this academic school year.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. Mr. Garber, there's a question about mobile devices. Would you like to take this one?
Sure. So we do not allow cell phones to be used during the school day. Our rule is that once the student arrives in the morning, the cell phone is to be put away from the moment that they enter the front doors at the beginning of the day until the moment they exit those doors at the end of the day. If a student violates that rule, we take the phone into receivership and we hang on to it until the parent comes to sign it out. If a student does need to make a call, however, they're more than welcome to come down to the office with a pass from class and use the phone at the front desk. I think all of us here have probably even availed students of our offices when they felt that they needed to make a call that was very private. So there are ways for students to communicate with home during the school day. Similarly, if a parent needs to communicate with their son or daughter, they can call the front office and we will deliver a message to the student.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Garber. I think that is all. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen, students? Great. Well, thank you all for joining us.
Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. And if you want to wish you the best of luck. And I hope you will seriously consider DCS as a school where you can send your child. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And we'll talk soon. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, by the way. Take care.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.